So, hello everyone, and welcome back to the episode 4 of Srijan, where Aspirations takes flight. Those who do not know about Srijan, it is a student driven body which fosters entrepreneurship since its very inception. Srijan, where Aspiration takes flight, is a series of episodes of interviews which we take of our alumni to provide a guiding light for newbies and new Srijanites who are looking to have a good career to give a guiding light in their career path. Today we have with us a very versatile personality. He's a football player, entrepreneur, amateur writer. He has experience in product management and supply chains and logistics. All the way from New Zealand, our today's guest is Alumnus batch 2016, Mr. Aalekh Oza. And hello everyone, I am Shreya Sharma, leader Srijan Entrepreneurship Cell. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction, Shreya. And it's really good to connect with you guys on YouTube. It's really a wonderful thing that you guys are doing. I know a lot about the current activities that are going on. The orientations are going on online and everything. And I respect the fact that each team member is involved a lot in a lot of activities, and it's really good to be here. Thank you so much for having me today. Let's get started.
Thank you so much for being here, sir. All the way from your busy schedule, you took time for us and came here to talk with us. That is a wonderful opportunity for those who are listening to us. And to our audience, I would like to say that if you have visited CQ, the convenience store, sir has been one of the co-founders of the convenience store. He has been the part of the football team that first time won noodles for the college. And we are so privileged to talk to you, sir, to have an alumnus like you to talk to.
Yeah, so it's so kind of you, Shreya, to talk a lot about, because the words that you're saying are very, very kind, and I'm glad that we are here, and it's really good to be with you guys. It's really good.
So talking about New Zealand, sir, what are you doing currently? How is it been? How is New Zealand right now?
All right, so. Trying to keep up with the kind of Aalekh I was during my bachelor's. Like I was back in Acropolis. I was very much involved in various events and activities. But what I'm trying to achieve in New Zealand is better grades at the same time. So currently I'm pursuing my supply chain logistics from Waikato Institute of Technology, that is in Hamilton, New Zealand. And alongside, I'm working in 3 different domains. First being as a student representative for 4 modules that we are studying this semester. Second, as a college student ambassador for the enrollments that we would be having next semester. And finally, as a international student ambassador, working with New Zealand police to spread safety messages across the communities.
And that is a wonderful thing. I mean, working with the New Zealand police is something a great thing that I heard about you.
Yeah, it's an incredible story behind that as well. Speaking of the current situations in New Zealand, things are pretty well over here, and New Zealand as a country right now is very stable because the pandemic has hurted a lot different parts of the world. But speaking of New Zealand, I'm happy to share with you that there have been 0 cases since last 7 days, and there are no active cases right now. And maybe New Zealand might be the first country to eliminate COVID-19 as in terms of number of active cases. So yeah, it's pretty much good over here. Thanks for asking regarding that as well. And I hope that you guys are doing good over there as well.
Yeah, even I hope so that not only New Zealand, the whole world gets out of the lockdown soon, the whole COVID-19 situation. So now let us travel back to your college days. So how was your college life? How has it been all 4 years in engineering?
College life, I really cannot describe that in words, because college life was mixed feelings. Like every day was something new, and every step that I made, every step that I took made me learn something new. Considering the fact that I was involved everywhere, and sometimes I got exposure to the success that I was seeking. And it's really important to tell you that a lot of times I failed as well. So there were a lot of ups and downs in during my college life. And speaking of the ups and downs, I would want to make a point to you guys that it's really important to actually have the ups and downs as a part of our lives. Because if you really want your life to be straight, then you're already dead. Just think about heartbeat for that matter. Like, it goes up and down. So if you want it to be straight, no one would want it to be straight. So the more up it goes, the more down it goes, and the more down it goes, the more up it goes. So my college life was filled with a lot of ups and downs. I had a lot of learnings because I was exposed to many things. So yeah, that was something about my college life.
Your college stories and everything that we heard about you. That has been always a great bunch of great stories to listen about. And we have heard that you were there in different groups also and different clubs. You were involved in sports as a football player, as I said. So it is always really nice to talk about you, sir. And
Yeah.
talking about how active you were at college in different clubs. So how did Srijan come in your life? How did you join it? Why did you join it?
Okay, so Srijan actually came into my life in my second year because, and there's an interesting story behind that as well. During my first year, I was too much involved into sports and dance because that is something that I carried from my school days. So I really didn't know much about business. I really didn't know about other clubs that Acropolis was having. And to be frank, I really had no idea about the word entrepreneurship until I got myself into Acropolis. So I'm speaking about 2012. Uh, I really wanted to explore new avenues because I was more interested in getting to know the world that was outside the classes. So whenever a senior from Srijan or Yuva Acro came to our classes for announcing an event or seeking volunteers, I was like, "Sir, Aalekh, you can write my name, and I would really love to be a part of it." And I remember the first event that I participated was Joy of Giving, in which me and a team of other UACRO, they danced for specially abled children, and it was very satisfying. So I loved the event. And the second time when they came in, before they even spoke about what the event was about, I was like, "Sir, I'll do it." And it went on and on. But my first introduction to Srijan was through ISOL, that is the International School of Entrepreneurial Leadership. And I would suggest each and every one of you to grab your seats in the next cohort. But trust me, you would not want to miss ISOL because it gives you ample of opportunities and ample of learnings.
Yeah, so this is, I would like to tell you that Joy of Giving still happens and it is one of the most loved events under
Yeah,
which Srijan conducts and everybody just loves it. We are keeping
yeah.
up the legacy that you guys left us.
Wonderful.
And
Wonderful.
so when you are talking about iSoul, that how did you become a part of it and how Srijan came into your life. So how did co-founding CCube help you? How did it help in product management where you have been?
All right. So let me take a different route and explain two things at the same time. Just for example, how did co-founding CCube help me, and what was the product management all about? So I worked with Computronic Systems before I came to New Zealand, and after working quite a while on products, I realized how products actually are born. So let me tell you something about it. Whenever we are working on products, we should not actually pitch products. We should show the customers that a purpose is solved. For example, if the company is selling matrices, so you should actually pitch comfort to the customers. If you're selling cameras, then we need to pitch the customers that you would be able to make memories with these cameras. So in the same manner, if a company is selling college merchandises, files, pages, pens, and other stationery items, We sold an idea to the customer, that is the college students, that you won't have to go to the market wasting your time and petrol to buy the files and pages when you can get the same thing at the college itself and at a very competitive price. So that's how C-Cube came in. And C-Cube also got its name because one of the C's of C-Cube is convenience, which the students were getting inside the college. So speaking of product management and relating it to C-Cube, it is really important to sell the purpose. Like if you want to succeed in product management, you need to make the customers understand that, okay, this is the purpose that we're solving for you guys. So you won't actually have to pitch products to them.
That was such a wonderful advice, sir. I feel like anybody who is looking to have a career and who wants to learn product management, then this advice will really help them. And so, when you were involved in different clubs, in
Yeah.
be it different activities, other clubs which we have in our college. So, can you tell our audience about how you manage academics, Srijan, and then other co-curricular activities?
So yes, as a student, this is one of the most important questions that we as seniors also get, because we have been part of various I was into E-Cell, I was into Yuva Acro, I was into Yavnika Hobby Club, and we participated in various dance competitions and events. Then I was into football. I had to manage my own team that I have right now. So yeah, there were a lot of things that were going on. So let me tell you something that really worked well for me, and it's my perspective. And I would not really mean that the other perspectives that other people have are incorrect. But in my opinion, in today's world, having mastery in one subject isn't as important as having sound knowledge in like various subjects. So don't try to be perfect in everything, because you cannot. Like it's good to have 80%, 80%, 80% in three subjects, rather than focusing on getting 80% and then 95% and then 99% in only one subject. And also, don't be satisfied with just 50% in any of these subjects, because uh, it's a saying that "Adha hakim bhi janleva hota hai." So you need to have at least 80% in various subjects. So decide on your priorities, that okay, these are the skill sets that I want to gain during my college tenure. So you need to ask yourself a few set of questions, like, okay, what kind of skill do I want to learn? Where do I want to be? So you need to set your priorities, and based on the answers that you get to the questions that you ask yourself, and you're good to go. So that is how you manage different things in college. So that's what I did, at least.
So keeping this point in mind, whatever you said about not getting satisfied when 50% of getting in each subject that you are studying right now. So there are students who are in first year, who are in second year. They have this consideration in their mind. They have this thought in their mind that academics is the yardstick for success, and if they do not get placements, they lose hope. So, what is your advice on this? That how to keep up during this time?
Okay, that's a wonderful question, Shreya, because this would really help a lot of first year students, not just the first year students, but a lot of people who think that if we have good academics, then we would be able to uh, uh, succeed in life. Let me tell you one thing, that to make a thing stand and to keep it stable, you need to have at least three supports. Just imagine a tripod for that matter. So don't base your career on just one single source. A lot of past E-Cell leaders have found careers for themselves and didn't really rely on college placements or just academics. Uh, I found a career for myself just after my fourth year, and we were able to do it because we were part of Srijan. We gained those skill sets through Srijan that were actually demanded in the market. So be it for that matter, accounting, finance, supply strategies, marketing that I gained through CCube, be it entrepreneurial skills that I gained through ISOL, be it people skills that I gained through by participating in a lot of events and activities organized by Srijan and Yuva Acro, or be it time management, team management, discipline, uh, or even the way one carries herself or himself. Like we were asked to wear polished black leather shoes and black leather belt and have a properly knotted tie. So Srijan gives you a lot of exposure and makes you learn a lot of things, and it prepares you for the outside world. So academics are important. I wouldn't say it is not, because it is something that we got ourselves, that it is the reason why we got ourselves into the college. But you need to explore other avenues as well. So and even if you're not placed in any company through college placements, or just through academics, Srijan you make you competent enough to create an impact on yourself, uh, to create an impact in the world. Is it are we missing Shreya?
I'm just sorry. I just lost connection out of it. But I did listen to sir what you said about how people think that not getting placement is a very big problem. It's an issue that they face, and they should not take it as a yardstick of success. That being good at academics is something all they want. And
Yeah.
that was a really good advice that you gave us. So when I was looking at your career path, when I was looking at your LinkedIn profile, I found supply chain, logistics. So can you tell us that what are you doing right now in it, and how did the turn took place? That you started from a computer science engineer and then you landed up here.
All right. So when I was deciding my major after 12th, I really didn't know. I think if my parents would watch this video on YouTube later, uh, they would understand that I really had no idea what I was getting myself into. The fact was that I took computer science engineering because I was really inspired by my brothers and sisters, because we live in a joint family, and my brothers and sisters were working in various multinational companies at senior management positions. They were working in HCL, Intel, Deloitte, TCS, and Apple. And I was very fascinated about the kind of work and the kind of impact that they were having in the world. And I wanted to follow their path. But later I realized, after while I was doing my computer science engineering, okay, that this is not something where I belong. So getting into Acropolis was not planned, but it turned out to be really fruitful for me, because the year I started my college, the same year, this wonderful man that we can't stop talking about, Atul sir, came to Acropolis, and with his amazing team, and Atul sir and Anupama ma'am changed the whole scenario. So under his guidance, I realized that okay, there are various pathways that I could choose. And 2 years back, when I was working on products, I realized that that is where my heart belongs, because when you start working on products, you can have your creative minds open. So I tried to improvise certain processes, and at the back of my mind, I also had one thought that okay, in the near future, me and two of my brothers, Aditya and Yash, we are planning a product in food and beverage industry. So I want to learn certain parts of supply chain and logistics, and I researched about it, and that's how supply chain actually happened to me. And for those who really don't know about what supply chain management is really about, in layman terms, I would like to make you understand that Supply chain management is basically the management of chain of supplies, that is transforming the raw materials to the finished goods. Like for example, if I'm having this phone right now in my hand, so it must be made through a chain. So how it went, how the transformation happened from raw materials to the final finished goods and services that we're using, that's all supply chain management is all about.
Okay, so that is, first of all, I would wish you all the best for the plans that you and your brother have. And that was a wonderful insight for anybody who is looking to have a career in supply chain and logistics. So, sir, would you like to give people like that who are planning to have a career in this an advice to them?
Sure. Uh, Maybe I would advise them something that I followed, because I would be able to speak more about it. Uh, if you really want to provide hassle-free experiences to people uh, in order to ease their lives, supply chain would be a subject that you will want to consider. So during this pandemic, a lot of industries have stopped working, but people who are working in supply chain are still doing they're still doing good. So you cannot restrict the supply of products to the people, right? So it's a basic need. So supply chain and logistics is the area that has a lot of potential to improve. It is an untapped area. So if you have your creative minds open, and if you want to just have an impact on how people are experiencing the products that they're using, so getting into supply chain management and doing an innovation in this particular field can be a game changer.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving this advice. I hope that anybody who is looking after it, who wants to know anything about it, this video is really going to help that person. So, we also heard about you that you are the International Student Ambassador working with New Zealand Police. So, please tell us more about it. How did you land up there? And how are the skills that you took from Srijan helping you right now working with it?
Okay, so every year there is this program by the New Zealand Police, which is by the name of International Student Ambassadors, wherein they select a few students to work with them to make communities safer and make people connected with each other. So we spread all kinds of information regarding the well-beings of people and about mental illness, about and other general information that could help people to feel safe in their own country and the communities that they're living in. So I got to know about this program through my college's Facebook page, and I applied for it along with my resume and a cover letter. My cover letter actually involved a lot about the voluntary work that I've done with Srijan and UACRO. Like for example, we have educated the poor kids. We have spread awareness about the use of plastic bags. We've distributed the whiteboards. We've went for tree plantations. We've participated in Earth Hour, and we've distributed various first aid kits. So these were the activities that I was involved while I was back in Acropolis. And if you could just connect the dots backwards, these are the things that helped me to grab that position of international student ambassador with the New Zealand police. So that's how it happened, and I'm really glad that I'm working with the police over here and spreading good community messages in the society.
So we all at Acropolis, the whole Srijan family, everybody is feeling so proud for this, what you are doing, keeping up the good things you're doing right now. And
Yeah,
that is wonderful that you're going for the cause about things which are really important. And Srijan so basically opens the vistas of growth. It
it
provides
does.
you you with a 360-degree development, be it in
Definitely.
any field. As you work in UACRO with children, you distributed whiteboards, you work for society, and you
Yeah,
also work in entrepreneurship. So it is basically getting developed in all kinds of fields that are around you.
definitely. Definitely.
So, summing up all of this knowledge, all the skills that you got, how being an entrepreneurship cell helped you to be where you are today?
Okay, so working in the entrepreneurship cell really opened my mind. And because initially I was a very shy person, I didn't speak much during my during my school days. But after getting into Acropolis, when I participated in various events and activities that were organized by the college and the Srijan and Yuva Acro, I got an opportunity to network with people. Uh, uh, if I had been in 12th right now, I would not be able to communicate well with you on the YouTube live. But I'm able to do this because uh, Srijan helped me learn these communication skills. It gave me a platform where I can actually share my ideas. It gave me a platform wherein my seniors, my juniors are all brainstorming regarding good things that we can do. And we have amazing set of mentors. Like, you can reach them out anytime. Even if you call them during night, they won't actually mind. So if you want to really learn and explore different things, if you want to as you said, if you want to have a 360 development in yourself, it is important to get yourself into Shrijan. And uh, that's my story. It really helped me a lot.
Yeah, so the people who are already into it, the leaders, do you have an advice for those, the current Srijan leaders?
Current Shrijan leaders. So a leader giving advice to another leaders. All right. So uh, I would say that the journey of an individual, or a leader for that matter, at Shrijan is full of uncertainties. And those who are leading right now might be able to feel the words that I'm saying. Uh, so how do we go about it? So imagine that you're in a. I'm sharing an analogy. So imagine that you're in a completely dark tunnel with a torch in hand, and all you could do is move forward. So the light of the torch would reach at a certain point, a point until where everything is visible, right? And after that, nothing is visible. So plan for only that part that is visible. It's called your foreseeable future, wherein you have various variables in mind, which you can actually calculate and devise your plan according to it. So, what is ahead of that point in the darkness, it really does not matter, because there are a lot of uncertainties, and you actually really cannot plan an uncertainty. So, maybe you need to have small goals. A small goal, having many small goals will make you reach the bigger goal. So, take one step at a time. But at the same time, I would suggest you to at least think about the uncertainties and anticipate some, because anticipating uncertainties that we can get while on our journeys, it's a good way to go about it. So yeah, that is what I would really suggest you guys, that have small goals, and definitely we'll reach the goal that we are targeting ultimately.
Yeah, and so I totally agree with you. Like as you said, Srijan is all about uncertainties. I mean, I didn't know about a week ago that I'll be here taking an interview of an amazing personality like you, taking an interview live on YouTube. I didn't know that I could have that potential to do this. So Srijan opens the gates to possibilities that you can have, and it actually helps you grow. Yeah.
Right.
So, is there anything that you would like to tell to Acropolians, the college students, your juniors right now?
Okay, so i have I have two advices for you guys, uh, 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 because I really feel connected with each and every Acropolitan, because I was there once. And the advices go like, a lot of people will actually ask you to work about two things in life. uh, I would actually like to introduce the third one. But let me first talk about the first two. So you need to work on your minds. It's really important these days to stay competitive. So you need to invest in yourself. So work on various skill sets that you might need, either for your job or for your business or for anything that you are asking, maybe for personal development. And don't be unidirectional. Focus on other things. The second thing I would like to ask you to focus on is you need to work on your body. Like it's pretty straightforward, but we don't realize it how important it is. We individuals don't realize that we are living inside a body which needs to be taken care of. So do exercises, because if you're healthy, you would be able to achieve the goals that you actually want. And the third thing that I would like to introduce over here is you need to work on your souls as well. So be truthful to yourself and others. Practice good morals and ethics. Do meditation. Enjoy life as it is, and be happy for it. Like attract positive vibes in your life and stay away from the negativity. So that's how you would be really happy at the end of the day. And when you go to sleep, thank God for the day that you had. Thank your parents, and don't really have thoughts while you're sleeping, because it's important if it is that way. And another quick advice that I would want to give you is that it's actually a realization that you guys need to have. There's one thing common between me and Bill Gates, for that matter. There's one thing common between me and Jeff Bezos, or Elon Musk, or Mr. Narendra Modi. Me and you, Shreya, or me and each and everyone who is listening to this talk, that everyone has 24 hours in a day. So the game is
Yes.
how we actually utilize these 24 hours. So uh, the better the utilization, the better you are at life. So do think about it, and don't just waste your times. Time is really important. Like a wealthy person can purchase everything, but just not time. So time is very crucial, and we don't know what happens the next day. So just try to have an impact each and every day in life. So that is what something I would just say to my fellow Acropolians and my lovely juniors out there.
And I hope that they all will take your wonderful advices. They will really help them in life. Now, there's a question from the audience. There's a question from Sarthak Palak. What will be the next step or milestone in your career?
Wonderful question, Sarthak. The next milestone that I'm trying to achieve right now is that uh, uh, as I'm studying supply chain logistics in Hamilton, I'm exploring different job opportunities that I might have with the Hamilton City Council, because it is not easy to get in there, be it Hamilton City Council, because supply chain is something that is everywhere. Be it Air New Zealand, wherein I can look at the backside of the logistics that the guys are doing. I maybe want to work in the army, wherein I'm able to do the supply chain part, or maybe I even have plans to explore certain opportunities with the city council. So I'm planning that way. One of the most wonderful opportunities given to us again by Srijan, that was that we could do a lot of courses on Coursera. So I utilized those times. I learned a lot about supply chain from a different university alongside the university that I'm currently studying in, and it helped me have a depth of knowledge. So that would be something that I'm planning next for my career.
Thank you so much, sir, for answering this question. And to highlight the point that Srijan is offering courses on Coursera, different types of courses that anybody wants to learn something about. And now we are towards the end of our session. And here is a rapid fire round that I kept for you. There will be some questions. There are 5 questions, and you have to be very quick to answer them. So the first question. Being a football fan, what would you choose? Real Madrid or Barcelona?
Hala Madrid every time.
And one thing you wish you could change right now.
One thing I could change right now,
Yes.
missing my parents and my family. So if I could just
One thing you miss the most about college.
CQ,
One advice if you could give to your younger self.
just go for it. Have the go for it attitude.
One word to describe Srijan.
Tricky question. Learnings, creation.
Yes, and that summed it up, summed the whole session in a very true manner. And these were the questions, sir. Thank you so much for joining us and sparing time from your busy schedule, as we knew that you were very busy today. Thank you so much for answering all the questions and clearing doubts of our students, your juniors. And thank you everyone of you who is attending the session right now. Thank you so much for attending. If you
Thank
still
you.
have any queries, you can contact to us. You can connect to us on different platforms like on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can mail us at srijan@acropolis.in. And you can watch this episode as well, like and comment on this episode, and be ready for the next episodes of Srijan, where aspiration takes flight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.